What's up, everybody? Brett Mix from Mixer Madness here for the 48th week of the Monday Night Wars. This is the WCW side, September 16th, 1996. The 53rd episode of Nitro, but the 48th week they go at it head-to-head with Raw. Nitro beats Raw for the 12th week in a row. Nitro scored a rating of 3.7. Raw scored a rating this week of 2.1. So a win of 1.6 by Nitro. A huge win. So through 48 weeks now, Nitro has 29 wins. WWF Raw has 17, and they've drawn twice. So this is the Nitro with a 3.7 rating. Came to you from the Asheville Civic Center in Asheville, North Carolina, live on TNT. The first hour, of course, Zbyszko and Tony Schiavone with Mike Tenay here and there. Then they go to Bischoff and Heenan in the second hour. They talk about Fall Brawl, the WarGames the night before, and talk about how the horrible news with the nWo winning. Then they talked about how they should have trusted Sting. The show begins with Schiavone showing an imposter Sting being attacked by the real Sting during the WarGames. Because the real Sting was the fourth man for WCW in the WarGames, and the imposter Sting was the fourth man for the nWo. And that's how, because the Giant was in a separate match with Savage. So that's how they found out that Sting was an imposter Sting. Then, as in the Savage match with the Giant, the nWo beat down Savage, and they have Liz running to Savage's aid for a big surprise. And then they spray-painted Liz nWo. So Sting was in Japan, and he never joined the nWo, so that was the whole thing. And Luger didn't trust Sting, and WCW members didn't trust Sting, so Sting walked away, and it allowed the nWo to win because Sting was mad that no one trusted him. So that's the big story coming into the show. The show opens off with a Cruiserweight title bout. Mysterio defends the title against Juventud Guerrera. This should be a great match. Juventud took on Konnan the night before. And also a classic with Super Calo and Ray at Fall Brawl WarGames 1996. I recommend anyone going back watching that, as he hit a double springboard Hurricane Rana for the win over Super Calo to Mysterio. That's just from my memory. I remember that ending. It was classic. The match begins as Mark Curtis rings the bell. The referee. Juventud with a quick takedown. Mysterio in the yellow tights with the yellow mask. Juvi in the red and black. A backward surfboard submission hold, but Juventud escaped it with a DDT, and then a close near fall, catching Ray off guard. A fall-away slam and another near fall. Ray with a double leg stomp to the lower extremities of Juventud Guerrera. Mysterio trying to keep the high-flying Guerrera grounded by working on his lower extremities, his legs, going for a leg lock. He smacked the back of the canvas with the leg lock. Then a spinning heel kick by Ray, right hands and chops to Juventud, who comes up back with chops of his own, and Ray gets knocked down by the power of Juventud's chop. Irish whipped into the ropes, then a monkey flip sends Juvi up, and then a springboard crossbody attempt, but Ray caught him in midair with a drop kick instead, sending Juventud Guerrera to the outside. Then Ray with a top springboard Hurricane Rana onto the floor to Juventud Guerrera. Commercial break, unfortunately, as this was high-impact offense. Fortunately, a commercial broke it up. Juventud Guerrera has been dominating during the commercials, said the announcers. A jump spring heel kick by Juventud to Ray. Juventud with a springboard moonsault onto Ray. What a match. Juvi springboard corkscrews back into the ring, but it's not enough to put away Ray. Juvi with a chop sets Ray up top, and then goes out of the corner, but a springboard Hurricane Rana off the top rope. They cut to a tailgate party of the nWo fans celebrating the victory from last night. Juventud in the end goes for a powerbomb. Ray counters a Hurricane Rana out of a powerbomb attempt off the top rope. Unbelievable counter. Mysterio connects with that top rope Hurricane Rana out of the powerbomb, modified powerbomb. It's 6:54. The ending. Ray wins the title. He retains the title. He keeps the title. If this had a few minutes more, it could have been a real classic, but I rated 3.5 stars. It could have been in the 4-star territory had it gone a couple minutes longer. It was just quality over quantity. It wasn't too long, just under 7 minutes, but it felt like it was a classic. It was a classic TV match. I probably could have even rated it higher. Quick Horseman promo by Arn and Benoit, then a quarter of the quick Glacier vignette, as Glacier is set to make his debut tonight on Nitro, for his Nitro debut. He's already debuted on Saturday night. DDP takes on Ice Train. Both men test their power. DDP is shoved by the Ice Train to the outside. DDP comes back, a snap nair, then a clothesline and a belly-to-belly. Big-time power moves in this one. Off the ropes, a power slam by Ice Train as DDP kicked out. A big splash, nearly a 3. Teddy Long gets on the apron as we don't see the finish, but DDP wins because Nick Patrick says that Teddy Long threw in the towel for Ice Train. So that's how DDP gets the victory. I rated the match a 1.25 stars. They show someone in the crowd. It's the 1-2-3 Kid. We don't know him as Syxx yet, but we know it was the Kid, and he's in the crowd with shades on. And he asks in an interview to Mike Tenay, he asks who won the WarGames last night, and Mike Tenay says, "You know who won the WarGames, nWo," and he goes, "Darn it!" So that makes people think that this Kid might join the nWo. Konnan takes on Super Calo. This was a great match here. Two contrasts of styles, but both men can wrestle really well with high-risk maneuvers. A monkey flip, an arm drag takedown, a suicide dive, a pump handle slam off the top rope, springboard crossbody, and a plancha off the guardrail into the guardrail by Konnan and Calo. Konnan with a drop kick and a clothesline back in. Konnan has been in control most of the match. A submission move here where he has his leg below his neck and the arm was torqued at the same time. Calo dropkicked Konnan to the outside and then hit a springboard moonsault. He then slingshotted himself off the top to the floor with a corkscrew. A dropkick from the top rope all the way to the floor, slingshotting himself all the way to the ground again by Super Calo. Calo misses in the corner and Konnan hits a brainbuster to Super Calo, getting himself a 2 count. Konnan with Calo in the corner, a powerbomb with a bridge attempt, but only a 2. Konnan then with a sit-down powerbomb with great elevation to Calo. This time he gets the win at 6:44. Rated the match 3 stars. It was a great one. Brad Armstrong took on Hugh Morris in a Power Man's match. They do a bunch of power moves in this one, a lot of small package attempts, and the small package ends up getting the victory for Armstrong at 3:55 with an inside cradle. I rated that match a star. Hour 2 pyros go off. As Bischoff on commentary, they interview Macho Man Randy Savage as he's the #1 contender for Halloween Havoc. And he basically tells Hogan that him and the nWo are going down. They show the nWo limo backstage. They show backstage in the parking lot. They have the nWo limo there. And then Macho Man, with a lot of fury, takes on Scott Norton, but ends up disqualifying himself as Savage went nuts with a steel chair, as that was his character at the time. He was gone nuts, and he's just ready to wreak havoc. But the match was actually pretty decent with Scott Norton before that, so I rated it 2 stars. Glacier took on Big Bubba Rogers, and this is Glacier's debut. He wins at 2:42 after he knocked him out with a spinning thrust kick. And they have the lights go out dark blue for when Glacier is wrestling. It's pretty neat. But I don't know. It's distracting at the same time. At least it was a short match. Sting comes to the ring with no mic. He said this is going to be the turning of a new Sting. You're going to see him only at surprise appearances. He's going to expect the unexpected. And he's mad that no one trusted him, but now he's going to show up where you'd at least expect it. And this is the genesis of the great build to Sting. This is truly the beginning of a great build to Sting. The Four Horsemen defeat Chris Jericho, Marcus Alexander Bagwell. They do by pinfall at 11:06. It was a pretty good match. I rated it 2.5 stars, as Jericho got some good offense in there, but Arn with Spinebuster was too much for him in the end. Then the Four Horsemen, Benoit and McMichael. That was Arn and Flair, the other match. Benoit and McMichael in this match take on Luger. It was going to be Luger and Sting, but Sting says he's going to show up when he wants to show up. So it's 2-on-1. Luger looked like he was going to get in the victory after a torture act to McMichael and Benoit. But this one was to McMichael when Flair and Arn came in and disqualified him. So Luger wins by disqualification at 6 minutes. So the Horsemen are showing that they're a tight group, and so is the nWo as we go backstage. And the nWo has Syxx as the newest member. They call him because he's the 6th newest member, so they call him Syxx. And now they're all in the limo. Hollywood Hogan's watching the mini Tron, like a mini monitor. They got Nitro on. I rated the show a 6.5 out of 10 because they had great match with Ray and Hoovy and Super Calo and Konnan. Another good match with the Horsemen. The build to Sting being the elusive character that we know him as, or that we wouldn't know him as the Crow. This all starts to grow to that. Plus the new member of the nWo and Syxx kept things exciting, kept things fresh. Plus they built the Halloween Havoc, which was still a few weeks away. So this Nitro, I give it a 6.5, and it won in the ratings 3.7 to 2.1. So that's this Nitro. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Brett Mix, and I'm out.